Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm reviewing the NV100 Commander from OneLeaf. It's a clip-on that turns your scope into a day and nighttime digital scope. It's Nico, yes. Thank you. Honestly, OneLeaf did send me this unit free of charge, asking me just to use it and share some of my thoughts on it. Now, I'm actually very excited about this unit for several reasons. You can use it on multiple scopes. You just need an adapter to attach it to your scope and you turn your scope into a digital scope. It shoots video in 1080p HD and it takes still images. Also, it has night vision with a built-in IR light. What I'm going to discuss in this video is what you get once you've purchased an NV100, some of the features this unit offers, the installation of this unit. I will do a field test on a shooting range and possibly a night and daytime hunt if time permits, and then in the end I will share some of the pros and cons in my opinion. But what I'm mostly interested in is how well this unit will perform out in the field, you know, the practical side of it. Walking and stalking, because that's mostly what I will use it for, and also what's the quality of the footage it's capable of shooting. Okay, so let's see what's in the box once you purchase a unit like this. It's quite a stylish box. It gives you the impression of a quality unit. There's a manual inside, a little cleaning cloth. You've got your unit with two eyepieces. The one is a 23mm eyepiece and the other one is a 42mm eyepiece for rifles with a little bit more recoil. There's additional two adapters. So I've got three adapters that came with this unit. The one is a 42mm, a 45mm and a 48mm for different size scopes. They even sent you a electrical tape that is to wrap around your scope so that your adapter will fit tightly on your scope. There's a little bag for the unit, and there's also Allen keys and a USB cable. It also comes with an 18650 battery, only one, but I would recommend you get you a few spare batteries to make sure you don't run out of battery power once you're in the field. You can purchase this unit online for $299 US. Now that's a very reasonable price for what you get. You even get a 32GB memory card with the unit. But the real question is, how will this unit perform in the field? Okay, so let's look at some of the features this unit has to offer. Now this little NV100 is quite featured packed. There's quite a lot to it, and for the price that you're paying for it, in my opinion, this is really a very good deal. Now, the NV100 uses the Sony Starvis CMOS sensor, which has been widely used. And what the sensor does is it takes a lot of the ambient light at night and enhance the image using that light. For instance, all your starlight, moonlight, any light that's available at night, it uses that to enhance your image. Now, hopefully it will also serve this unit well. It takes video in 1080p, which is HD, in 30 frames per second. Now you can also reduce that to 720p if you want to, and also has the option to take slow-mo video. Now I won't be using that because I'm just using my normal footage and then slow it down in Premiere Pro according to my needs. It uses 18650 rechargeable batteries. Unfortunately, you cannot charge the battery through the unit, although it does have a USB port. The port's only for transferring data from and to the device. But your battery comes in here, and unfortunately you have to charge the battery separately. So I'll recommend you get a few extra batteries, 18650 rechargeable batteries. They say the battery will last up to 8 hours. Now I haven't tested that, but on my previous grey Reebok hunt I used only one battery throughout the hunt. I didn't need to change the battery, but I also need to say that I didn't have my unit on all the time. It comes out with 3 different adapters, a 42, 45 and a 48mm adapter that you can fit to most of your scopes, and then you can just attach the unit to your scope. It even has a laser dot when you may be doing vomiting, shooting smaller vermin like rodents or rabbits. I won't be using that. Then you also have the IR built-in IR light. Now if you extend this light, if you pull it out, it will focus your beam, and if you push it back, it widens your beam. The IR light also has 6 adjustable settings, so you can adjust the brightness of that light. The unit's casing is also protecting it from dripping water, like if you have rain. Water immersion is not allowed, so it's not really waterproof, but it's protected from rain. I had one instance last year where I hunted mountain reedbuck, and just before I took the shot in the mountains, it started raining, and I've lost all the footage through my digital scope on that occasion. So that's a neat feature that I'm really glad about. It's got a 3x digital zoom. It's not optical zoom, so all it does is just cropping on your image, and I won't be using that. It would just reduce your quality quite a bit, and then it might pixelate. I will rather use the optical zoom of my scope on my rifle. It's got 2 eye reliefs, 2 eyepieces. The one is shorter than the other. The longer eye relief is for rifles with a little more recoil. Now I believe that they say you can use it up to a 308 on a 308 in the unit. I will only be using it on my 6.5 Creedmoor and on my 2-3 and the 2-2 rifle, not on the larger hunting rifles. It also has a adapter for your tripod, so you can mount it on your tripod, attach it to a scope, and then you have a spotting scope. You can use that for a night and a daytime spotting scope, especially when you're hunting bushpig at night. For you that do hunt bushpigs at night, you would know that they can be very skittish and very shy. You don't want a lot of movement, especially when you're sitting in the hide waiting for them. You don't want to use your rifle all the time to scan the area. You can just take this little unit in your hand and then scan their surroundings. The buttons you have here is your power button, your zoom button, menu, your record in the middle, your IR light, and then on top you've got your laser dot. There's also a cropping function that you can crop in on your image on your screen. And here you have your SD card slot. You can use up to a 256 gigabyte SD card. You've got your USB port. Like I said, you can use USB ports only to transfer data from and to the unit. So the 2 wheels you have here, the one here at the bottom is adjustable wheel to focus on the image in your telescope, and the one here at your eyepiece is to focus on the screen in the unit itself. The screen inside the unit is full color. I will try to get a photo of that and show you. The video format this NV100 uses is the newer H.265 codec and not a normal H.264 codec. So if you have all the video programs on your computer, or your editing software is a little bit older, you might gonna need to download different codecs to be able to view this format. But with the newer editing programs, that won't be a problem, I believe. The menu in the unit allows for quite a bit of options, from color effects to your setup settings. Even a reticle center adjustment option is available, so you can actually adjust your reticle to the center of your screen. So there's quite a lot of settings available in the menu for you to set it up the way that you want to use it. So all you need for your installation is to make sure you've got the right adapter for your scope, some PVC tape and an Allen key. So to install your adapter, you click it onto your unit, the adapter that fits your scope. Then wrap some PVC tape around your scope. That's to make sure that your unit or your adapter will fit tightly on your scope and that it also doesn't damage your scope. Now to fix the rifle scope, you insert your adapter onto your scope, make sure it fits tightly and also that your reticle is square in your screen, and then you can tie down your bolts, but make sure it's really tight. Then you can start to adjust your display. The wheel at your eyepiece is to focus on your screen inside of the unit, and then the wheel at the bottom is to focus your reticle of your scope in your screen. And once you've done that, you're set to go. Okay, so let me show you how easy it is to attach this unit to your scope. I've already got the adapter mounted to my scope, and you've got this little clip here to release it. But you just insert it like this and just turn it and it will click into place. Easy as that. And if you want to take it off, you just use this little clip and you clip it off. So two things I'm really interested in seeing today. The unit extends your scope quite a bit, and it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable shooting with the Creedmoor with that much of an extension. But if that's going to be a problem, I might just buy a Picatinny rail and move my scope a little bit forward. And then the second thing I want to see is the quality of the footage. Okay, so this is at 100 meters. Just focusing my scope. You can see the quality of the footage, the image quality. That looks quite sharp. Taking the first shot, and the sound that you hear is actually through the unit itself. I'm actually very impressed so far. It's not that uncomfortable that I thought it would be, so I'm really glad about that. So we've got quite a headwind this morning. Just gonna zoom my scope like that, and then I focus it. Alright. Unfortunately, the sun is shining straight into our sights. Okay, I'm really happy. This was the grouping on a 25 meters, this is on 100 meters, and this is on a 200 meters. So the grouping didn't change from 25 meters to 200 meters, and just shows you you don't compromise on your accuracy with that unit. I'm actually very impressed about this unit. I thought it would be a little bit uncomfortable with it extending the scope this much, but strangely enough it didn't, and I didn't compromise on the accuracy, so I'm really glad. I just want to go and see the quality of the footage, but it's a really neat unit, and I'm really happy so far. I can't see them because they're laying in the tree line.
Okay, so we are out here on the shooting range, looking at his bench that I've turned around, and this is at a distance of 100 meters with my rifle scope at a zoom of 6. My IR light widened. Now this is the image you get when you extend your IR light, so it focuses its beam, and when you push it back, it widens the beam. So that's the image that you get when it widens. So if you want to shoot at a closer distance, that would be perfect. That's a very crisp image at 100 meters. So let's look at 200 meters. There's another bench I've placed at 200 meters. Okay, so that is the image at 200 meters. That bench there is at 200 meters, and then those white targets at the back, that's the 300 meter mark. So you can still see clearly at 300 meters, but if you're hunting in the bushveld and there's grass and bushes, that might be a little bit difficult, and especially if you're hunting small vermin like rabbits and so forth. But if you're hunting bushpig and you've got the clear shot, you will still be able to do that with just this IR. So that's impressive. With this little IR light at 300 meters, so the Sony Starvis CMOS sensor is really doing well here, using the ambient light to enhance the image. At 200 meters, it's really clear. Let me just focus it a little bit on my rifle scope. And at 300 meters, that's how clear the image is at 300 meters. So OneLeaf claims that the IR light's beam will reach 300 meters, and they're absolutely correct. So let's try to zoom in quite a bit now. Let me focus it. Not too bad. That's impressive. Let's zoom it back. Let's see what it will look like at 100 meters. Zoomed in. So this is with a 6 times magnification at 100 meters. If I increase that maybe to 18 and just focusing on it, that's how crisp the image is. Very impressive.
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised with the Commander NV100. It performed well out on the shooting range and also out on the field when hunting grey rebuck. Although I didn't bag a grey rebuck, it still performed well, and I was able to capture some good footage of the hunt. Firstly, this unit is featured packed, and considering you're only paying $299 for it, you get quite a bit for your money. This unit shoots in HD, which is 1080p. It's got a slow-mo function and also takes still images. It also has a night vision function with a built-in IR light. Although the light is very small, it still was able to really capture good footage at night. The Sony Starvis CMOS sensor did well to enhance the image. You will see at 100 meters, 200 meters, the image is really clear, and even at 300 meters. And you can also use it as a spotting scope, especially at night when you just want to spot the surroundings when you're hunting bushpig or do some varmint hunting, and you don't want to use your rifle all the time, to scan the surroundings. So that can also come in handy when you're hunting at night. Now you can use this unit on different scopes. You just need different adapters to attach to your scope, and then you can turn any of your scopes into a night and daytime digital scope. So there's a lot of pros to this unit. It's really featured packed, and like I said, considering the price you're paying for this is really a fantastic deal. Now, some of the drawbacks on this unit extends your scope quite a bit. So if you're using a rifle with a little bit of recoil, that might be a little bit uncomfortable shooting with the NV100. But with my Creedmoor and with the suppressor I'm using on the rifle, I didn't have any issues with that. Now, apart from that, you also have to take out the battery to charge it. So I'd recommend you carry a few extra batteries with you, just to make sure you're not running out of battery power once you're in the field. It can also be a little bit challenging fitting your adapter to your scope, to make sure that you're retically square in your screen, but also that the unit fits on tightly on your scope. and then it uses the newer file format, the H.265 codec, which if you do have all the programs to watch your footage on or to edit your footage on, you might gonna have to download some codecs to be able to view the footage, but I didn't have any issues with that. Then the last thing, when I hunted the grey rebuck in the Drakensberg, I had my scope on a 12 zoom, which resulted in the unit to compromise on your field of view. So it cropped in on the image that you saw through this unit. Now that was the biggest drawback in my opinion, because when you have something at 400 meters and you have to take a shot quickly, you might struggle to get the animal in your scope. So that was the biggest drawback in my opinion. But overall, what a neat unit. It's featured packed, it's well priced, and I will certainly use it quite a bit in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.